Waited for this day and it finally came. Woo! So here lies my Galaxy S7 that I cracked, and here's another S7 that I actually got with a back crack. Now this S7 will come in handy later on because I have actually used this S7's motherboard off camera for one of my friend's Galaxy S7 which died, so there you go. Now after removing the SIM tray, I just take this piece of knife, and all I did is I started from the most cracked area of the phone, and not only that, I decided to just lift out just slightly to find out that this phone has been opened. Duh. Because, well, if it's not open, how the heck does one get into the camera and just remove the camera, right? Either way, once I did it, remember the plastic piece that I showed you earlier on? I decided to, slide the bottom piece before I use a razor blade to slide in the rest of the bottom part of the phone. Now, after this, I decided to slide in more with the guitar pick now, or the pry pick, I don't know how to call it, but it is definitely a pick anyway, so you can't judge me on that one. And then after I get past the first portion of the cracked glass, I can just take the razor blade and just slowly slide past. And now I can just stick in the clear sheet of plastic and just put it and just jam it right between the frame and the back glass of the phone. Now after sliding a few more of these and trying to slide past everything without trying to damage this glass further, which yes, I did not manage to damage it even further, I can just take my razor blade and cut off the remaining adhesive. By the way, if y'all hear any sound, that is because my cat is with me in my room. Now that once this back glass is off, let me just say that this is actually a replacement back glass, so how do I tell? Number one, that chop on the back of the phone right there, and of course it doesn't have its IMEI and everything else. So taking my S7 that I am charging the battery for, I remove the battery, and what I am going to do right now is to unscrew all of the screws found on the donor S7, and then once that's done, I decide to lift out the wireless charging module, which I broke right a few months after repairing this S7. Then after that, I can just remove all the plastic pieces. By the way, that is a long story which I'll tell in the future. And the loudspeaker piece. Now these will come in handy later on. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna swap over the motherboards between the two S7s, because well, my motherboard is my motherboard and this motherboard is this donor's motherboard, which is actually used to be repaired with a friend for my friend's Galaxy S7. Now once almost all the cables are done, I can undo the two coaxial cables. These are good. These will be helpful when it comes to Wi-Fi and calling. I don't know, it's not Wi-Fi, cellular calling. Then once this done, make sure you unplug the fingerprint one also, and the volume buttons, which I totally forgot. Then now since this doesn't have any camera, I can just use that camera hole and just pull out the motherboard, unsnapping the micro USB connection right there, and free out the donor motherboard. Now once that's done, I am going to remove this double-sided tape. I believe it's 3M style thing. It shouldn't really be there. You can just use like sort of a black paper to just cover it up, but who cares? The screen is good, so I'm not gonna complain. Then now I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for the main board of my S7. Now this board itself has been used for 5 years, and it does have some sort of sentimental value behind it because I have fixed up this one and also accompanied my last bed till the very last. So of course that's why I am still using this S7. But either way, after doing the same for the phone, again there's no need for order, and conveniently forget to remove the SIM card tray, which I finally did. I can just take out the motherboard like this and just pull it right up, folding it over and disconnecting the USB port. Now this USB port cannot be transferred over due to Samsung's design for this cable and how it's designed for it. So what I did is, of course, a little bit of editing to just put the motherboard back into the donor frame and the donor battery, which is still in use. and then just plugging in the two coaxial cables, the volume cable, the screen cable, the volume button, and the battery, and just testing out this phone. So you could tell, left off where it was with that very proud Eddie Rabbit profile picture. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna shut down this phone and remove the battery. Now, the reason why I'm gonna do it is because I know that S7s have battery issues, so I kind of want to make it accessible for my own self to put in a spare battery, which is still useful now, so I don't regret that. Very beautiful stuff. Now that I'm gonna put it back in and turn it back on, so I could tell I didn't destroy the battery, which is good news. And let's just appreciate the fact that the screen is fully black, because now it's got some discolor and everything ever since this video was filmed. So now here's the motherboard, and here are the cameras. Due to the fact that my old camera is very blurry and I don't think I will be taking good pictures to do this S7 justice, I think I can use out the donor phone's camera for for parts, and just unsnap the rear camera. There you go. Now that I'm done, I'm going to snap in the new rear camera, which yes is from the donor S7, otherwise where on earth is it gonna be from? Then I'm gonna take in the donor S7's front camera also, because if you want to change something, you might as well just change the whole set. And once that is done, I'm going to test it out with just the screen and battery and power ribbon connected, with the cameras connected, to test out the capability of this phone. Now once that's done, I'm going to just turn off the phone, of course, otherwise how you want me to operate this phone. And then now here comes the fun part. It's because this frame is no longer in use, I decided to take these gold buttons and put it on this silver frame. Now this is dark silver, and I thought it would look cool with gold buttons, which is what I feel is my best move ever. Is because this phone still looks really cool with these different weird color combinations. So what I did is I removed the buttons from this frame, which these buttons will be used back on this phone. I'm saving it up for later anyway. And they are actually surprisingly easy to come apart, but when you put them back in, they are a nightmare. So alright, let's not talk about it. So the thing I did is I decided to just take it out and use the razor blade and push that white pin out, which releases the button, which is what I find this design to be quite useful when you just want to color swap your phone without damaging your warranty or water resistance. So once all these are done, you can just pull out the buttons respectively, and then I'm gonna put the buttons back on to the black S7 frame. Now it might look like that the keys on the black S7 frame is from the black S7 frame, but I did change it over to make sure the phone is as original as possible, even though almost all of its parts have changed anyway. Then now once that's done, I'm going to snap in these cables. And by the way, the proximity and lights and LED light is original, because, well, why not? Everything must be possible, original as possible. So once that's done, I have decided to put in the gold SIM card tray. So you can tell, this is the part where I face my dilemma, and I decided that the gold SIM card tray will blend in really nicely with the black characteristics of the phone. Then I just need to put on the back cover, and I didn't glue it. Now the reason why I didn't glue it is the ease of changing of battery, which I still do change my S7's battery often. When one gets below 40, I just turn it off and change it for another one. And here's the S7 with the black back and gold frame, and now it's with the So what I decided on ultimately is to put on the black camera lens, but it's still the fact that I'm still young at the point. Not really young, but I'm still stupid at the point. I decided gold is the way to go, but well, apparently it's not. So now that once I'm done, I'm going to go and update my phone, soft low key, and I'm gonna do it off camera. No, actually on camera. I'm so sorry. I'm actually doing a voiceover for this phone. Then here you have it. the very beautiful Galaxy S7 that I have got the screen restored and everything. Now, the reason why I'm using it is because it's still a fast phone and it's still got all the features that I need from from a Galaxy S without paying a premium for Galaxy S. Now, these clips all show the glued back. It's just because I want it for show and never to realize that I can actually just replace the battery in seconds without gluing it back. So I did remove the glue ultimately. It's just that it's here for the video, so there you go. And also, I feel like this looks very beautiful as a transparent phone. Now that the wireless charging thing, just a little bit of update, it's no longer there due to the fact that the module is broken and my replacement part is also with lemon. I didn't put it back. Overall, I would say this is a pretty cool restoration project, even though I have spent like 170 on just the screen alone, which is ridiculous. But again, this phone has got the value that no other phone have, because of the fact that it's got my own sentimental value. And to think of it, it's a pretty showy piece as well. With that, thank you so much for watching. Comment, like and subscribe, and follow my socials, link in the description, and we'll see you next time.